What's going on, people? Welcome to our first edition of Fakebook News. Now, let me explain to you why I'm calling it Fakebook News so people understand it. I was an avid user of Facebook, and I used to post a lot of things. And I used to be really excited about the things that I posted. I'd be like overjoyed, like, oh. And then someone would come onto my page and say, "But Luke, you sure that's real though?" I said, "Of course it's real, of course." And it was just down to my naivety. I was just naive because I'm thinking, when I'm seeing certain things, you think, why would someone go out their way to post something that's fake? Or why would someone go out their way to construct something that's fake? You know, imagine if I went outside now, I got 3 or 4 of my friends and then we went outside and I got one of my friends to pretend to be a homeless person, and then I walked past him begging and I kicked the can, and then I got another friend to pretend to run and punch me in the face. Yeah, it creates views, but it's like it's why would you do that? Why would you portray yourself in that way? And it got to a stage where everything I was posting, someone would say, "Oh, but Luke, you sure that's real? You sure that's real?" And funny enough, they weren't. The other day, I posted something on my page of a woman sitting down in her car, and basically her husband has paid for this specialized song. He's gone into some site and he's paid for the specialized song. So she's sitting down in the car, they're about to go somewhere, and he's got a hidden camera in the car. Then all of a sudden she's listening to the radio or the CD. Song's playing. She's like, I haven't heard this song before. And then she starts listening to the music as they're driving, and then lyrics are about, they sound kind of like familiar to her. And then she starts to realize that, wait a minute here, this song's about me. And you almost see her kind of come to tears. And then and then posted that on my page because it moved me. And then I saw another one, another guy do the same thing with his wife. So I'm thinking, these are like real life experiences where guys have kind of like set a camera up in their car and proved their devotion to their women, and they're just documenting, the wife's reactions to it. But then I saw the same woman that was in the first one on some sort of acting script or screen, whatever you want to say. So it's like, what is real? What is real on Facebook? When I'm putting what is genuinely real? What is real? If people are going out their way to act and make up fake news as well, you got people out there as well. They'll say, "Oh, well, I'll give you an example of something." I think there was a video saying Muhammad Ali's daughter, Lilly Ali. There was some sort of something going on about her. Maybe that she'd passed away or something like that. And she even had to do a video saying, "Look, I'm still here. I'm fine. Just want to let people know I'm perfectly fine. Yeah, I haven't passed away. Nothing's happened to me. Don't know why someone would create this. I don't know what would be the purpose of creating it." So it just got to a stage where Facebook to me was like everything just seemed fake. It just became fake book because there was more fake stuff being posted than what there was genuine. But guys, we can still go through interesting topics, and we can look at it as in scenarios, and then we can discuss it. We can talk about the scenarios. Doesn't necessarily have to be about the people or the names or the color of their skin and all those kind of things. It can just be based on the scenarios in which we're talking about. For example, like I just gave an example of a homeless man. Say I set this up, yeah, and I walked past a homeless man and I kicked his can with the money in it, blah blah blah. Let's talk about, you know, what would happen in real life if such a thing happened, blah blah blah. That's what it's about. That's what the Facebook news is about. That's what makes it interesting. Having said that, let's jump into it. Right, so I'm not even going to entertain this. I'm not going to entertain that because I've spoken on this already, so I'm not going to entertain things like this. So let's just move past it. I won't entertain that either. Mo Gilligan, he's on Netflix, by the way. I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed his Netflix documentary. Wrestling, let's skip that. Have no interest in wrestling. Buju Banton's son say he's almost turned gay, but boom, bye bye, and they pulled him back. Buju Banton's son say he almost turned gay. Now this is interesting. See something I'm trying to say, guys? Now this would be interesting now. Let's read the article. Buju Banton's son Jazeel Maheri has said he almost turned gay, but that faith in his father's 1992 song Boom Bye Bye dragged him back towards church. Right, so let's talk about it. Let's get into this, guys. We're not going to spend too much on it because, again, like I said, it has nothing to do with the names. I said this to you guys. It has nothing to do with the names or the colour of someone's skin, blah, blah, blah. So really, this topic right now, and we're not going to spend too much time on it. I'm just going to move from one topic to another. How does someone almost turn gay? Okay. Right, I need to ask you a question. If someone came to you and said, over the last year, because of the stresses of my life, the stresses at work. Funny enough, there was an article saying that if people experience too much stress at work, they can become homosexual or gay. What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a really important conversation, and I'm glad you brought it up. So, just to be super clear, sexual orientation isn't something that's caused by stress or life events. It's considered a core part of who a person is, something innate, not a result of external pressures. I know a lot of misinformation circulates, so it's really key to focus on the fact that orientation is just part of who someone is, not something caused by stress.
So if someone said to you they almost turned gay, you would basically say to them it doesn't really work that way. You're more so do you think that maybe they can be maybe influenced by their environment to kind of like believe that? Maybe they might be, for example, they might be troubled or vulnerable at that particular time in their life where they are kind of thinking about experimenting, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a really nuanced point. People can absolutely be more reflective or open during stressful times, and they might question or explore aspects of themselves they hadn't before. But that exploration itself isn't turning them into something, they're discovering something about who they already are. So I focus on validating their feelings and letting them know there's no rush or external force deciding it. It's all about self understanding.
Yeah, so almost turned gay. I mean, that would be an interesting read. That would be a very interesting read, guys. Very interesting read. Right, let's move on to the next subject. Your spouse is classified in Ghana. Denying your spouse sex has been classified as a criminal offence. A controversial law that highlights the legal concepts. This is brilliant. Now we're talking. Now we're talking, guys. Now we're talking. But again, I'm not going to spend too long on this. Now, how do I talk about this with ChatGTP? Because remember, it's an intelligent system, and I don't want to come across as stupid when I'm saying something like this. So bear with me. If it sounds like I'm a bit kind of slow or I don't find the right words, um, yeah, just bear with me, guys. All right, let's just try to frame it so that ChatGTP understands it. Right. Say I was in a relationship with someone for maybe a couple years, and every time we got into an argument, they refused to get intimate with me. What would you say about that?
That sounds really tough, and it's important to pay attention to those patterns because, withholding intimacy in a relationship often points to some kind of emotional distance or unresolved conflict. I'd say it's really important to talk openly about how it's making you feel. No blame, just expressing your needs and see if you can both get on the same page. If not, it might be a sign you need to reevaluate the relationship.
If you heard that in the UK, um that if I was married to my wife and she refused to give me sex, that I could actually prosecute her and she could do jail time for it. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, that's a really heavy topic, and I think it's important to separate legal frameworks from emotional and relational dynamics. In the UK, there's something called spousal rape laws, and lack of consent in a marriage can absolutely be a crime. But from a personal perspective, I'd feel really uneasy about thinking of it solely in legal terms. These are really deep relational issues, and I think the focus should be on getting to the root of the communication and consent issues, ideally with professional support, like a counselor.
See, so this is a tough one, guys. This is a real tough one. Um, all I can say to you guys is this, there's some people where they say everything was perfectly fine. The relationship was really good, and then suddenly we got married, and the minute we got married, no more than 6 months down the line, it was right. I just can't be bothered to have sex with you. And little things might turn their female partner away. And if you're someone that's been raised that, there is no, is it monogamy or polygamy now? I'm trying to figure out which one's which. I think it's polygamy, isn't it? There is no kind of sex outside the marriage. There is no mistresses and all those kind of things. You're just devoted to one person. If you're basically the good guy, if you want me to be honest with you, and you're now married, and you believe that there is no such thing as divorce doesn't even come into it. You may even have kids may even come into it. So now you're thinking to yourself, not only am I not going to divorce her because my parents never divorced, but I got children, and there's no way my children are going to go through a divorce. And now you're stuck in a relationship where a woman's saying, you know what, I have the power now. It might have been that way before marriage, but now, things don't go my way, you don't get sex. And it has happened, and it has happened. Let's read what this thing is saying now. In Ghana, denying your spouse sex has been classified as a criminal offence, a controversial law that highlights the legal importance of sexual consent within marriage. This groundbreaking law emphasizes the need for mutual respect and understanding in relationships, with a focus on the emotional and physical well-being of both partners. While some view it as an essential step towards protecting marital rights, others see it as an infringement on personal freedoms. The law has sparked debates about consent, power dynamics, and individual rights within marriage. So all I can say about this is that consistently denying your partner sex should be a criminal offence. Well, it can't be a criminal offence, can it? Because you're still married to the person. So I'll give an example. Say I was going through a problem. So say I had a child, and I broke up with my partner, and she has a child, and for whatever reason I'm unable to see that child, or I have problems with my partner on how to raise a child, whatever. In the UK, you can take that I can take my baby mother or wife or ex-wife, whatever, to court, and I can sue her, whatever. But logically, it doesn't make sense because that money should go to my child. It shouldn't go to the government. It should, So when I sue her, that money goes back to her anyway. Do you understand? It doesn't make sense. So it's the same thing, same concept within this. It wouldn't make sense for me to kind of prosecute my wife because she's still going to be my wife after it. I hope that makes sense. Let's move on to the next one, guys. Y'all, the way y'all hyped up Russia and the way y'all hyped up Russia and China and they ain't done shit for their allies is crazy. Who are our true rivals? We ain't got none. What we do got is 3 of the top 5 air forces in the world, the greatest navy ever, and a president that ain't scared to push the button. we get shit done in hours. Well, I'm not even going to get into all of that, to be honest with you. Forget that. Maponga to West, are you okay in the head? Me nearly turned fish. Oh, put your bat and son. Let's see this.
You see, because my father sang, I literally almost turn fish. You see me? Because you know, see, Satan manipulate your mind and your character. But you see, because my father sang, drag back my memory. But I say, weird. No, man, no, my father say, bye bye. See, you know? I took him the next day, I walk to church. And I said, this is it.
When you say you almost, no, he didn't do anything physical. But when you say you almost turned fish, what that means?
Almost on the game because the enemy of my mind. The enemy of my mind are weird.
So you were lusting after men?
More they say lust still, but the idea of it.
Okay.
You see, because remember your old, remember say, why I never fully understand what I deal with, you know. But I face rejection too. With feel like that door that they close at one point with woman. I literally almost done.
So he faced rejection. Right, he faced rejection. I suppose so. I suppose it makes a little bit of sense, isn't it? If he couldn't get a woman, so maybe some guy showed him affection, whatever. You know what it's like with the LGBTQ community. They're a little bit more not affectionate, but not more nicer, considerate. So maybe that's what happened. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Next, move on. I think we're going. Oh, that's the one that I was talking about. So right, so here we go, guys. Yeah. So here, look. Remember I was telling you about fake videos, fake scenarios. This is the fake video here. This is the one I was talking about the other day.
You see?
If you listen to my the video, the AI video that I done, this is what I was talking about. A woman on a plane. This woman here is an actress. She's an actress, yeah. She's done multiple videos, and the first time you see it, you think, oh my gosh, and you get emotionally involved and all that kind of stuff. Then you realize it's all fake. None of it's real.
See? Okay, I'm right here.
Is it okay if I keep this up?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. What was it? Dude, there are no assigned seats on this flight. Fuck up.
Okay, this one isn't about drama. So this one's just about a bottom. Okay. Normally the ones that she does always involve some sort of drama, some sort of fake. One time she was a school teacher and the kids must have threw something at her. Right. McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczynski goes viral for the way he ate his own burgers. He takes a tiny bite, looks uncomfortable, and calls the food product. Does he know something we don't? And calls the food product. Okay. So yeah, this is an interesting one. Let's talk ChatGPT what it thinks of this, guys. Yeah. So guys, I tell you what, we're gonna do this every single day. I'm gonna do it for probably about 25 minutes. So this will be the last one that I do, and then catch me in the next one. Yeah. But this is part one anyway, and I've explained as to why I do it and blah blah blah. But this is gonna be the last one anyway. So let's talk ChatGPT on what it thinks of Lilly Gaddis. Have you heard of Lilly Gaddis?
Yeah, actually, I have. Lilly Gaddis is a pretty well known sexual health and relationship therapist. She does a lot of work around communication and intimacy in relationships. Was there something specific you were thinking about with her work?
Yeah, we must be thinking of a different Lady Gaddis because this one is she went viral on TikTok for doing something called blackface.
Ah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's a really different situation. There was a lot of backlash around that. So, yeah, definitely a separate person from the therapist I was thinking of. It was a pretty big controversy, and understandably, a lot of people spoke out against it.
Do you think it was right for her to have lost her job?
I think it's really complex. I mean, definitely blackface is incredibly harmful and perpetuates really deep racial stereotypes. So the public reaction makes sense. But I do think it's important that people have a chance for accountability and growth, not just instant firing. So I think it depends on how the whole situation was handled.
Well, it wasn't just down to her creating blackface, was it? It was also down to racial things that she was saying.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't just the act of blackface, it was also the language she used and the context around it. So it wasn't just a single mistake, it was a pattern of harmful behavior. And that kind of impact, especially on marginalized communities, is really serious. So a lot of people felt that her losing her job was justified.
Right, let's read this, guys. I saw. Let's see if it's worth reading. Info war about to do. Venezuela, fact from the shame, but racist contact. Oh my gosh, guys, listen, listen. She's got a mixed race child. She's got a mixed race child. Come to find out, her son is half black. Oh my gosh, guys. So this is a totally different debate, guys. This is a totally different debate. This is a totally different debate. This is a bit. I'm not even going to go into it, guys. That's it. Because you know about Lily Gaddis, right? This is a woman that was on. Let's quickly go into it. I saw a video of a white woman. She went viral on TikTok, right? TikTok, for saying some really racist stuff, right? Really racist stuff. Yeah. Um, pure, pure racist, as pure as they come. Then she got fired. Oh, the owner of who she was working for was black. Right, right. Because of it, she right. So the owner of who she was working for was black. That's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy. And then someone gave her a platform to be racist again, and she blew up on she blew up on YouTube. But to know that her child is mixed race just doesn't make any sense, does it? Doesn't make any sense, guys. I'm gonna leave it there anyway. And you can see today, like even after reading this post, I'm not going hard or no this or that. Do you understand? I'm trying to go easy now. The Fakebook news segment is going to be me going easy. It's not going to be me saying this or saying that or blah blah blah. Too grown for that now. Do you understand? This is just we're just going to go through stories and talk about a few things. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Hopefully tomorrow or in a couple of days. I'm going to try and make them frequent. But this is part one. Thank you for watching. Peace out.